morning, students. Okay, so in today's class we are going to continue with exercise 2E. Okay, so we had completed the first and the second question. So we will do the third and the fourth question today. Okay, so the third question is expand the brackets, simplify and factorize. So first we need to expand the given brackets, then simplify them, simplify the expression, and then after that we have to factorize. Okay, so let's see the first question. So to expand the brackets means we multiply each bracket by the term which is there outside. Okay, so here we can see that there are two brackets. X minus 5 is the first one and x minus 2 is the second one, and here x minus 5, this bracket is multiplied by 3 and the second bracket is multiplied by 4, and minus 5 is another term. Okay, so first we solve these brackets, we expand these brackets. So on expanding, for expansion, what do I have to do? I have to multiply 3 to each term which is there inside the bracket. Okay, so I multiply 3 by x also, and I multiply 3 by minus 5 also. Okay, so I write 3 multiplied by x, there is a minus sign, so I write minus 3 multiplied by 5. Okay, so this is my first bracket. Okay, first expansion. Now I go to the second, there is a plus sign, then here also I have to multiply 4 to each term inside the bracket. So I have to multiply 4 by x minus 4 multiplied by 2. Okay, this is my second bracket. Okay, now the third one, the third term is only minus 5, so I write it as it is. Now on multiplication of these terms, what do I get? 3 multiplied by x is 3x, minus 3 into 5 is 15, plus 4 into x is 4x, minus 4 into 2 is 8, and minus 5. Okay, now see, I had put brackets here, and then after that I have removed those brackets and simply I have put the plus sign here. But this will not be the case if there is a minus sign here. Okay, that is why I have put brackets here. When I am solving each bracket, when I am expanding each bracket, I have to put a bracket for that. Okay, why? Because if there is a minus sign outside, the sign of each term inside the bracket changes. Okay, if there is a negative sign outside this, outside the bracket, if there is a negative sign, each term sign changes. That is why I have put a bracket. And after removing, while I am removing it, this sign will get multiplied to each term. So plus into this plus will become plus, plus into this minus will become minus. Okay, so we have got these signs. Okay, but if there would have been a minus here, then that minus would have got multiplied to this 4x, which is positive. So minus into plus would have been minus, and then minus into this minus would have been plus. So we have to be very careful when there is a negative sign outside a bracket. Okay, because it gets multiplied to each term inside the bracket, then the sign of each term changes. So that is why I have put brackets here. Okay, so now I have got this, and this there is no need to put bracket here now. Okay, so yes, I have got this expression. Now in this you can see that there are like terms. Okay, so which are the like terms? This 3x is 1, and there is another x term which is 4x, and then there are three constants: minus 15, minus 8, and minus 5. Okay, so I write the like terms together. So 3x, and this is plus 4x, so I write plus 4x. Then I write the constant terms together: minus 15, minus 8, minus 5. Okay, now I solve together the like terms. 3x plus 4x is 7x. Okay, so this becomes 7x, and minus 15, minus 8, minus 5. So minus 15, minus 8, first we solve this, minus 15, minus 8. So minus minus, both the numbers are negative, so we need to add them. So what is 15 plus 8? 15 plus 8 is 23, and 23, the greater number sign is negative, so it will be minus 23. So I get minus 23 minus 5. Now I solve this. Minus 23 minus 5 is, now also both the numbers are negative, so I need to add them. So on adding, what do I get? 7x will remain same, and minus 23 minus 5, 23 plus 5 becomes 28. and the greater number is 23, which is having a negative sign, so the answer will also have a negative sign. So in this I get 7x minus 28. So now when I have got 7x minus 28, I have to now factorize. See, we have expanded the brackets first, then we simplified them, taking the like terms together, and now we have to factorize again. So to factorize, we have to see what is there in common between these two. There we have two terms here, 7x and minus 28. So what is common between the two? See, the first term is having an x, but the second term is not having x. So that means we cannot take x in common. Okay. But we can take, see, 7 and 28. 28 is a multiple of 7, right? So we can take 7 in common. Okay. So when I take 7 in common, so from the first term if I remove 7, okay, first let me write this as 7x. I can write as 7 multiplied by x minus 28. I can write as 7 4s are 28. Okay. So I have just split this 28 and I have written it as 7 into 4. Okay. So now from both the terms I am removing 7 outside. So 7 is removed outside, and then from the first term if 7 is gone, what is left? X is left. And from the second term if 7 is gone, what is left? 4 is left. And there is a negative sign in between both, so I put minus. So this is 7 multiplied by x minus 4. So 7 is one factor and x minus 4 is the other factor of this expression. Okay. So we have factorized the given expression and we have got 7 multiplied by x minus 4. Okay. So it is very simple. In this everything is included. Like in the previous exercise we had to only expand the brackets, and then before that we had to only simplify the brackets. But here you have to do all the three things. You have to first expand the brackets, then simplify them, and then you need to factorize. So it is a mixture of all the three processes which we have seen. Okay. So now we go to the second one. The second one is little lengthy, little long it is. So, but similar we have to do in the second sum. There are three brackets. This is the first one, this is the second one, and this is the third one. Okay. So first we expand the brackets. So to expand, I have to multiply the first bracket. For the first one, I have to multiply this LM to each term inside. So I write LM multiplied by, the first term is 5L, plus LM multiplied by M. Okay. This is the first bracket, expansion of the first bracket. Now we go to the second one. Here also 2L will be multiplied to M also, and 2L multiplied by, sorry, it is 2L square. So 2L square multiplied by M and 2L square multiplied by 3. Okay. This is the second expansion. Now the third, 6L will be multiplied to M square also, plus 6L will be multiplied to again the second L. Okay. So now we do this multiplication. LM multiplied by 5L. 5 is a constant. Here there is no constant, means it is 1. So 5 multiplied by 1 will be 5. Then L, there are 2 L. So when we multiply this, L multiplied by L means the bases are same and they are multiplied. So we add the indices of them. So we get L multiplied by L is L square. Okay, we have seen this in simplification and multiplication of the expressions, right? So this the laws of indices we have seen. So using laws of indices we have to do this. So 5L square, and there is one M also. So we get 5L square M plus LM multiplied by M. Similarly here M, there are two M's. So M into M will be M square. Okay. Then we go to the see again here also you can put a bracket, and then in the next step you can remove it, or you can directly remove the bracket in this step itself. Okay. So now here I see that there are no negative signs. Okay, there are no negative signs in between. That is why I have removed the bracket in this step itself. Okay. So yes. Now 2L square multiplied by M will be 2L square M. Then again minus 2L square multiplied by 3. 2 will be multiplied to 3. So 2 into 3 is 6. And there is only one L square. So I write L square. Then plus 6L multiplied by M square will be 6LM square. Right. And then 6L multiplied by L will be 6L square. Okay. Now I have got this expression, And in this now I need to simplify this expression. Simplify means we have to see if there are any like terms, and then we need to collect the like terms together and then solve. Okay. So let's see, are there any like terms? See, the first one is L square m. Then again there is an L square m term here. And again, okay, there is no more L square m term. So first, this L square m and this L square m I write together. So 5L square m plus 2L square m. Okay. Then let's see, Lm square, is there any other Lm square? So this is the other Lm square term. So I write these two terms together. So plus Lm square plus 6Lm square. Okay. Then there are two L square terms also. So I write these two terms also. Minus 6L square plus 6L square. Okay. I have to solve the like terms together. So 5L square m plus 2L square m is 7L square m. Plus Lm square plus 6Lm square is, here there is no constant, means there is 1 here. Right. So 1Lm square plus 6Lm square is 7Lm square. So I write 7Lm square. Okay. And then the last, this is, these both are L square terms. And the constants are minus 6 and plus 6. So minus 6 plus 6 will be what? 0. Why? Because both numbers are same. 6, 6. And one is minus, other is plus. So minus plus means we need to subtract them. So when we subtract 6 from 6, we get 0. So this, the simplification of these two terms will be 0. So we won't have an L square term. So minus 6L square plus 6L square will be 0. So we do not write that term now. So what we have got now, 7L square m plus 7Lm square. So I write this as 7 multiplied by L multiplied by L multiplied by m, because I have split this L square as L multiplied by L. Okay. Then 7Lm square means 7 multiplied by L multiplied by m multiplied by m. M square I have written as m multiplied by m. Okay. Now what is common between the two? Now we have to factorize them. Right. So we need to check what is common between the two terms. So there is a 7 here, there is a 7 here. There is one L here, there is one L here. There is a second L here, but there is no other L in the second term. So we can remove only one L in common. Then there is an M here and there is an M in the second term also. Now again, we see that in this there is no M, but in this there is an extra M. So we cannot remove one more M outside. So we have to remove only the terms, the things which I have underlined. So I remove one 7 common, one L and one M outside common. Okay. So what is left in the first term? One L is left. Plus in the second term one M is left. Okay. So I've got 7Lm multiplied by L plus M. So these are the two factors of the given expression. Okay. 7Lm is one factor and L plus M is the other factor of this given expression. Okay. So this is the way we solve. First we had to expand the brackets, then we had to simplify, and then after simplifying the two brackets or the expression, after simplifying the expression which we get, that we had to factorize. Okay. So this is the third question of exercise 2E. Now we will go to the fourth question. Okay. Now we go to the fourth question. The fourth question is again factorize each expression. So this also we need to factorize, but here the number of terms are more. Okay. So it is same, but the expression is little lengthy. It is big. Okay. So now the first is x square y plus 2xy square plus x square y cube plus x raised to 4 y raised to 4. So first I split each term into its variables. Okay. So if there is x square, I will write it as x multiplied by x. Okay. So the first term is x square y. So I can write it as x multiplied by x multiplied by y. Then the second I can write as 2 multiplied by x multiplied by, there is y square. So I write y multiplied by y. Then x square y cube I write as x multiplied by x, which is x square. And then y cube I can write y cube as y multiplied by y multiplied by y, right? and the fourth one is x raised to 4 and y raised to 4. So x is multiplied 4 times and y is also multiplied 4 times. Okay. Now I need to check what is common in every term. So from the first one there is an x, second also has an x, third also there is an x, and the fourth is also having an x. Now there is one more x. Yes, the first is having one more x, but the second term is not having one more x. So we cannot take one more x in common. If any of the term doesn't have any variable or anything which is not common, we cannot take that term or that variable outside. Okay, like here you can see that there is one more x in the first term, in the third term, and in the fourth term also there is one more x. But the second term is not having one more x, right? So we cannot take one more x in common. Okay. Now we go to y. So the first one is having 1y, second is also having y, third is also having, and the fourth one is also having a y. So we can take one y outside. Now the second, third, and the fourth term is having an extra y, but the first term is not having an extra y. So we can take only one y outside in common. Okay. So what all we have taken in common? One x and one y. Okay. So what is left from the first one? From the first term there is an x which is left. So I write x. From the second, 2 multiplied by y is left. Okay. From the third, x multiplied by y into y is left. And in the fourth, x into x into x into y into y into y is left. Okay. Now I write this as xy multiplied by x plus 2 into y means 2y plus x into y means xy square. X multiplied by y into y means y square. So xy square plus x into x into x means x cube, right? So I write x cube, and y into y means y cube. Okay. So I have got xy multiplied by x plus 2y plus xy square plus x cube y cube. So these are the two factors of this expression. Okay. Okay. Now we go to the second one. The second one is 1 by 3 g square h plus 5 by 3 g cube h plus 2 g cube h cube. Okay. So first I split them. 1 by 3 g square means g into g into h plus 5 by 3 g cube means g into g into g into h plus 2 g into g into g multiplied by h into h into h. Okay, because it is g cube and h cube. Okay. Now let's see what is common in all the three terms. So there is 1g, here also 1g, and here also 1g. Then there is another g also which is common in all the three terms. Okay, and there is 1h, here also there is 1h, and here also there is a h. So from this we have removed the variables which are common. Okay, now we go to the constants. So constants also I need to check if from the constants also if anything is can be removed. Anything can be removed common from the constants also. So first let us check. The first constant is 1 by 3. The second constant is 5 by 3. And the third one is 2. So we have to check that if we could split 5 by 3 and 2, and if we could remove 1 by 3 common from them, or anything which can be removed common from these three numbers, okay, or fractions. So 1 by 3, 5 by 3 and 2. So what do I have to do is, see, if I have to remove 1 by 3 common, first I write all the three fractions which are there. I write 1 by 3, then I write 5 by 3 and 2. So I need to find something which I can remove in common. So from this I can see that 1 by 3 can be removed in common. Okay, like how? If I remove 1 by 3 common, the first term is having a 1 by 3. Now the second term, if I remove from the second term is 5 by 3, the second constant is 5 by 3. I need to check that if I remove 1 by 3 from 5 by 3, what will be left? Okay, so how do I get that, the left thing, the left constant, how will I get that? I need to divide 5 by 3 by 1 by 3. How? Let's check. I divide 5 by 3 by 1 by 3. So this division of fractions you have done, 5 by 3 divided by 1 by 3, I get 5 by 3. This division, in place of this division, I put a multiplication sign. If I put a multiplication sign, then next, other fraction gets multiplied, but it becomes reciprocal. Okay, that means 1 by 3, we will multiply the reciprocal of 1 by 3. So what is the reciprocal of 1 by 3? It is 3 by 1. Okay, so when I multiply 5 by 3 by 3 by 1, this 3 and 3 will be cancelled, and what will be left is 5. Okay, that means from 5 by 3, if I remove 1 by 3 common, what will be left? 5 will be left. Okay, this simply means that when I multiply 5 to this 1 by 3, I should get 5 by 3. Do I get that? When I multiply 5 to 1 by 3, do I get 5 by 3, which is the given constant? Yes. So to get that, we have done this division. Why? Because to get the uncommon number which will be left when we remove 1 by 3 in common. Okay, when we remove 1 by 3 outside. Okay, so this was about 5 by 3. Now we go to 2. From 2 also, if I remove 1 by 3, I need to check what will be remaining. Okay, that means to find that remaining constant term, I have to divide 2 by 1 by 3. Okay, so dividing 2 by 1 by 3, this division also, if I put a multiplication sign, then second fraction will be reciprocal. So 1 by 3 reciprocal will be 3 by 1. Okay, and this multiplication, 2 multiplied by 3 by 1 is 6. Okay, so that means when I multiply 1 by 3 to 6, what should I get? I should get 2. Okay, so 3 1s are 3, 3 2s are 6. So do I get 2? Yes. That means I can remove 1 by 3 common from 5 by 3 also and from 2 also. That means I can remove this 1 by 3 common from all the terms. Okay, so now I remove 1 by 3 in common. Yes, so I have 1 by 3 which is the constant term. Then I have 2 g's, so g multiplied by g, and there is 1 h which is left. Okay, so from the first term everything is gone. 1 by 3 is gone, g is gone, and 1 h is also gone. So nothing is left here. That means 1 is left. So inside the bracket I write 1 for the first term. Now for the second term, as we saw, from 5 by 3, if I remove 1 by 3 outside, 5 will be left. Okay, and then there is a g also left. Plus from 2, if I remove 1 by 3 common, but what did we see? If from 2, if I remove 1 by 3 common, what will be left there? 6 will be left, right? So I have a 6 here, and I have 1g and 2h. So I have 6gh square. Okay, this means that when I will multiply this constant term to each constant term which is there inside, I have to get these constants. Okay, so let's check. If I multiply 1 by 3 to 1, do I get 1 by 3? Yes. If I multiply 1 by 3 to 5, do I get 5 by 3? Yes, because 1 by 3 multiplied by 5 means 5 by 3. Okay, and then if I multiply 1 by 3 to 6, do I get 2? Yes, I get 2. So when we are putting brackets, when we are putting in this bracket, means we are taking something which is common, and this common thing, taking the common outside, is very easy when there are whole numbers, but when there are fractions it becomes little difficult. So when there are fractions, we need to divide like we did before. We divided 5 by 3 by 1 by 3 and we got 5. Then we divided 2 by 1 by 3 and we got 6. So in this way, to get the constant terms for fractions, we need to divide this term by the term which we are taking in common. Okay, so this 1 by 3 I have got. Now I multiply 1 by 3, g into g means g square, and h into 1 plus 5g plus 6gh square. Okay, so these are the two factors, 1 by 3 gh square g square h and 1 plus 5g plus 6gh square is the second factor of this given expression. So this calculation becomes little difficult when you have fraction as constants. Okay, but no need to worry. You have to just divide the constant terms with the common term. Okay, like we divided 5 by 3 to 1 by 3. Okay, so and we divided 2 by 1 by 3. So when there are constants in fraction forms, we need to be very careful when we remove the common term outside. So here, and after removing the constant, when we have done with this step, check if multiplying the constant gives us this. Okay, like we checked for this, when we multiply this 1 by 3 to each constant term, I get these constant terms which are there in the expression. Okay, so yes, this was about question number 4. So here the exercise ends. I hope the factorization is little difficult. We need to understand what things need to be taken out common. So this is little difficult. So the more you will practice these kind of sums, the more you will understand. Okay. So I have given such sums in your homework also. Yes. So we will stop for today and we will meet in the next class. Okay, students. Goodbye.